Is not sellable in the north, and this is the honest truth. They don't want me saying that. They say I'm this, I'm this. I know not how to lie. Peter Obi cannot penetrate the north. He is not sellable in the north, and this is the honest truth. They don't want me saying that. They say I'm this, I'm this. I know not how to lie. Peter Obi cannot penetrate the north. End of story. Three main opposition, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and ADC, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi, just like we did the last time. I've talked about Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot, and should not be allowed to continue beyond 2027 for the reasons I said. Back to, what's his name, Peter Obi. Peter Obi, a very young man, energetic. The North has issues with him. I've said it time and time again. We are going to interrogate his tenure as a governor of Anambra State, eight-year governor, what he did to Northerners. This is there. Number two, we are going to interrogate his association and refusal to dissociate himself from IPOB, which has been declared a terrorist organization, and his association and continuing. He's been talking that Nnamdi Kanu should not have been arrested. He's clean. We will interrogate him. It's not for his surrogates to come and give us answers. He must come and talk to people in the north to feel comfortable with him. If they arrest Turji and I come and say, oh, Turji is not a terrorist, Turji, do you think anybody else will vote for me, even back home here? Number three, Peter Obi, during his 2023 campaign, his party is essentially Igbo-centric and Christian. Igbo and Christian, end of story. How do you expect us, Muslims, to be comfortable with you?
So what do you think is the solution?
I'm coming, come talk to us. Or he went around all churches. Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso, thinking that Senator Rabi Musa Konkoso will help him make inroads into the Muslim North. We have a right to vote for whoever we want to vote for. Nobody will impose any candidate on us. I have no doubt today and ever that the ticket that will be best for this country will be Atiku and Amechi. Atiku, you don't have to ask what has he done, what has he done. He's sure, and he's been fighting. Amechi is a speaker in Rivers State, two-time governor. He's been a minister, and people are more comfortable with him in the north. He's a traditional title holder in Daura.
So do you think that's the solution for Nigerians? We
need to change. Okay, they are resistant that a general goes to war with the troops he has. These are the candidates we have. We're not going to ask God Almighty to drop another candidate for us. These are the three main candidates. Of the three main candidates, Peter Obi is not sellable in the north. And this is the honest truth. They don't want me saying that. They say I'm this, I'm this. I know not how to lie. Peter Obi cannot penetrate the north. End of story. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's the north that voted him, and even the north, Muslim north, not Christian north. He won Katsina, he didn't win Lagos, his home state. So don't tell me the Christian, region, ethnic, whatever. We voted for him, and we're not going to vote for him again. Atiku Abubakar and Rotimi Amechi will be the ticket that I will support, that I will campaign for. End of story. That I think will be better than this mess that we have.
You've heard the hatred coming out from this man's mouth. Yes, this Yusuf Osman. Now, if you think that you've heard everything finished, listen to Dele Momodu. Just listen to what he said. You'll be surprised. Listen.
Let's regulate it exactly. You know, so that is the crux of the matter. Peter believes, and he has convinced himself, and his supporters are convinced that he is the only Messiah in Nigeria. So my relationship with him continued. I knew that he may not agree to be VP. Because if he has already convinced that he is superior to a former vice president, there is nothing anybody can do or say to him. Then his supporters, hey,
that's why I was coming to the obedience.
I told him, I said, you are a leader. Please lead your followers. Don't let your followers become the leader. I knew that he viewed them with trepidation. Peter cannot control his followers. That's another thing. And they kept threatening. Even those who cannot give him 10 votes kept threatening. If you agree to be VP, we are not going to follow you. We are going to disown you. This is a democracy. Let me now tell you the final one. By the time he finally got another good friend of mine, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, once he got him to agree to be running mate, the same Kwankwaso who said during the last election that he can never be subordinate to Peter, and that Peter will not vote for an Easterner. He said it on video.
It's on record.
It's on record. So Peter then believed that, oh, this is a perfect match. But I knew. I went to check the records. How well did Kwankwaso do across Nigeria? He recorded 1.something million votes.
Exactly.
Overall,
yes.
Overall.
Yes.
And 900,000 of which came from Kano. So Atiku came second in that election. Peter came third. And then Kwankwaso came fourth. So why do you want to reinvent the wheel? Match Atiku's 6.9 million to your own 6.1 million, you will handsomely have about 30 million votes. Ashwaju added 30 million.
Yes.
So then bring whatever Kwankwaso can offer. Go into that coalition like that. He refused. Then they came, I believe, this is my own personal opinion, that they joined the ADC thinking that if they come like that with a mega force, they will be able to push Atiku out of the race, and that's why his people started attacking, pummeling Atiku, that Atiku cannot contest, he is too old, he's too this. How do you tell an old man not to pursue his own dreams? So I told Peter, I said, sir, Your Excellency, try and work with this man. Then I gave him copious examples. I said, if Mahama was not a VP to Professor Daniels, maybe he would never have been president of Ghana, because he came from the minority, just like Jonathan in Nigeria. I gave the example of Jonathan. I gave even in America that even Joe Biden, who was much older than Obama, still came back to become president, because you are able to demonstrate your capacity. You have only been a governor of a state, but Peter told me he's more popular than Atiku.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Really?
If you see him, ask him like that again.
Did you hear him? Even Dele Momodu too have hatred against Obi. Now, if you think that you've heard finish, listen to another one from Daniel Bwala. This one go shock you, and shock you. Listen.
And I'm sure you're a media person, you will know the manipulation of the new media. The new media is controlled. Some of the people you see, and you say, oh, this man has large followership. They are not actually followership, they are bot accounts. They are not live accounts on social media. And usually when you manipulate that, imagine 2:30 a.m. when presumably people are sleeping, you press a tweet, the same number of 200 people that were busy your father and mother in the daytime are busy you at that time, simultaneously within a certain period. They have manipulated the bot account that anytime you engage, that should be the reaction. So the people they call obedient, they have mastery of the manipulation. Can't you see what they were lying? That they register over 10 million people in 48 hours, which they know is not true. But because they know how to manipulate algorithm, they thought they would confuse Nigerians. So to be honest with you, the Peter Obi's obedient followership is largely overrated, because people say that based on the assessment of activities in his favor of social media, which is often carried out by majority of the accounts that are not actual human beings.
Okay, if you say it doesn't have followership, when he left on Sunday, by Tuesday this week at the National Assembly, a number of senators, a number of House of Reps, about 18 total, they followed him to the NDC. And then apart from that, so those are heavyweights, and then they also left the ADC to join him to go to the, which made the Senate President to say the ADC is dead and all of that. But if you look at somebody like Professor Pat Toby, and then Senator Victor Ume, and in fact Senator Ben will be a die-hard at school loyalist, following Peter Obi about. Are you saying he does not have followership?
So I will tell you what is happening there. Most of the lawmakers that defected, they didn't defect because they follow Peter Obi. Everybody, if you see their movement, they are all struggling and scrambling for automatic ticket. And so if you follow Peter Obi and you are with him, and he goes to a party where ticket will be handed to him automatic, you will also get your own automatically. That is why they are following. Otherwise, explain to me, after 2023 election, why is it that 95% of the lawmakers that won election in Labour Party left him and moved to the other party? Because they felt we have gotten the ticket that we want. Now we can go and do governance. Now election is coming close. His perceived movement, which is the people that will vote for him and manipulate the thing, that's why they are following him, not true followership. Otherwise, I would have asked you the question. Conversely, in the same way that you mentioned these individuals, you said that followed him. I ask you, where is Valentine Ozigbo? I ask you, where is Ken Okonko? And we can mention many. Where is Balami? There are quite a number of people that actually moved him. They ran his movement in 2023. Why are they not with him now? And why is it that this new individual that you are saying they are following him, they are moving to that? Because of the actualization of automatic ticket. I am not suggesting that to say ADC is a good party. It's dead. I agree with the Senate president, because they never existed in the beginning. They were hoping that they will use the noise making. You see, they were two factions, one which is the ADC members, consisting of very experienced politicians who have not governed well in their times. You've been a politician, but you don't even have record. And the other aspect of Peter Obi, which is the noise making side, that will give the impression as if they are alive. So the noise making side has moved, and that's why in the coming days you will see that more will be talked about. The Niger Delta Commission, NDC. The party of Peter Obi.
Okay, Nigerian Democratic Congress.
Nigerian Democratic, because it used to be Niger Delta, Niger Delta Congress. So you will see that in the coming days people will talk more on them than the other one. But these ones know how to manipulate the media. These ones are desperately looking for power. None of them presents a clear path. And to be honest with you, that's the sad part of what has generated, very unfortunately, the idea that the government is working towards a one-party state, because you don't have a viable and viral opposition. You just have conglomeration of internally displaced politicians.
One of the reasons Peter Obi gave for leaving ADC, about 4 or 5 of them, he said there's toxicity in the ADC, there's internal divisions, there's envy, mistrust. But then a major one is that the APC, the ruling party, APC, and the ruling government, of which you are the president's spokesperson, are intolerant of opposition. And not just that you are intolerant. In fact, there is an active, play to destroy opposition, to foist a one-party state on Nigeria. And it makes reference to the PDP, to the ADC, even the ADC, that was just rescued, thrown a lifeline by the Supreme Court last week. And then, of course, Labour Party, PDP, ADC. So, what's the response to this?
The response is just simple. All you need to do is look at his history. When he left ABGA because of crisis that time, which was the governing party, but you saw the video where he said that he's a smart person, that I run away from problem. I don't like problem. Once I come to a place where I see problem, I just bolt away. He has actually indicted himself. We call it a law, with confessional statement. And the media should no longer ask that question of anybody. The man has given the answer himself. He said, I run away from challenges. So you asking us to produce evidence that the accused person has already admitted, to me, is not being fair to us, because he said it. And you look at his life. Honestly, Peter Obi has been running away from every problem. When he was in Labour Party, and they start having the crisis they had in Labour Party, was it not crisis of leadership? All that Kenneth Okonkwo asked him to do was to be present and resolve, and he said, take a position. This guy ran away. In Abga, when he ran away, it was the same thing, and he joined Jonathan. This one, Kenneth Okonkwo was on your program. I think you interviewed him. I saw it very late last night. When Kenneth Okonkwo was saying that in NDC, everything he asked for, they gave him. Himself with the prerogative to produce the National Organizing Secretary. They say even the registration of membership, so that he would conduct the primaries. But he ran away because he wanted an agreement for, consensus that will produce him, because he feared he might lose the primaries. I put it to you, sir. If Konkoso stands for a primaries in NDC and they do primaries, Konkoso will defeat Peter Obi. Peter Obi knows he does not have people. Look at his life and his trajectory. So he ran away from that. In 2023, you know what he did? Being a Catholic and knowing that Catholic is the largest Christian organization, not just in Nigeria but in the world, and their influence in America. So he knew that he didn't have political base and has not built nothing. He needed a crowd. He introduced to Nigerian polity a new normal of religious politics, when he was going all over saying, take back your country. And it was at a time when people were seeing killings in different parts of Nigeria under Buhari. So they now felt he was a messiah. They gathered the vote. Immediately he lost the election, he ran away from them. As I speak to you right now, he can't guarantee you he has the support of the church. Because even I've listened to Catholic bishops that have called him out, not to talk of the Pentecostal one that he deceived so easily. And remember that phone call where he was saying, speak to these people. Look at his life. So Peter Obi is this kind of person, in my view, who wants the opportunity to just appear as a president. And these are the type of people that would destroy the destiny of a nation. I mean, think of Nigeria, that where every day as a president, you solve one problem or the other. So that means Peter Obi will run and leave Nigeria. That's what he's trying to say. Because he doesn't have a history where he sat down and resolved problem. Go to his private business and see the same thing. So it's not about politics. It's about his characteristic. And in the center of this type of activities is one word: selfish. Anybody that is selfish will do this kind of thing. It takes a deal of sacrifice for you to give up your right and bigmanism and sit down with people and resolve problems, which he doesn't have.
But then you didn't answer the second leg of the question, which is, why is the APC and the government destabilizing opposition.
Very good question. You know, I get asked that question and I laugh. In twofold. One, because they don't even have evidence to say, but that any problem is presumed to have been implemented.
There is evidence now.
What is the evidence?
The president said, Senate President, I will send it to the other side to go and represent me.
He was
scatter them. Okay, so it could be interpreted to be a jocular, moment.
No, he was even reacting to a boring discussion. I give you an example. Okay.
So the president could have been excused that was a light moment, between himself. They were bantering. But guess what? We have advised leaders in management theory that leadership, even your appearance, telegraphs messages. You don't have to actually say anything. Now, a few days after, what happened? The president's chief of staff jumped on that same message in Leki Abejide's wife's birthday and said, Leki Abejide, don't do this, don't do that. Stay where you are in ADC, your party. Scatter them. Repeating the exact words. Is that not what Wike is doing in the PDP? Is that not what has been going on in the ADC through Joash Amukwita? What about Labour, Julius Apuri and the rest of them? How do you?
So let me add my own. If you are watching this program and you are also in NDC, these people looking for president, they don't have vision. Scatter that place, so make sure that it doesn't succeed. Because if these people get to power, they will destroy the destiny of your children. Wherever you are, do the work of the Lord and make sure the evil does not survive. You see?
Yeah, the president's spokesman, so you should say this.
Let me tell you. But let me tell you this. Politics is a contest.
Yeah.
But politics is not a game of because you are a president, you sit down and ensure you consciously organize the opposition. No, that is not. It's not democracy that we practice. When you see that kind of a thing happen, it is in the kind of quasi-democracy where it is actually a one-party state and they want to create the semblance. Like, for example, remember when Abacha was alleged to have nursed the intention of transforming into a civilian? No, because I'm saying now that he wanted to transform himself into a civilian. He created a political parties. He created
that can call the five
fingers. This is the kind of thing that a president will sit and be hypocritically saying, let's organize. We are running real democratic process in Nigeria. When they talk about one party state, okay, so what the party they move to is what? They believe in it. Let me further confuse them. If you see, when you use a certain narrative, there is this thing called you weaken them by taking their strength out, by smoking their oxygen. If I want to smoke their oxygen right now, I will say, how are you sure the NDC that you are going to is not owned by APC? You see, they will all be confused.
Peter Obi here, Peter Obi there, obedient movement here, obedient movement there. Shebuna talk say this man no fit win anything. Shebi as he no fit win anything, make una leave am. Now yet una no one leave am. Now make una listen to wetin Adams Oshomole wetin come out for his mouth against Peter Obi. This one too much. How about make una leave this man?
And I recommend this to you. Atiku Abubakar, ask him what he is going to do differently. Who did you mention?
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi. Ask Peter Obi. Peter Obi has no reputation, unfortunately, and I will speak to it. You cannot take him by his word. First, he said he will never leave AGA because Ojukwu added ABGA as a political party to him, and he produced him as a governor. Immediately he completed his tenure. He left ABGA and went to the extreme of ABGA because the logic of Ojukwu was not to join a party who he believed was being controlled by those he had sorted to severe relationship with. Obi went there because he wanted to be vice president, and he became one, and he was defeated. Rather stay back and strategize, Obi potted and joined the Labour Party, another extreme, because he doesn't want to do any primaries. Labour Party handed over the ticket to him on a platter of gold. He got, according to him, 8 million votes. Okay, what will some common sense prescribe? That you manage that platform, invest in it, deal with all the internal challenges, because there is no system. I can call myself an expert in a voluntary association management. Okay, political party is a voluntary association. Membership is voluntary. You can join, you can withdraw. Now, he couldn't manage it. He wanted where food is ready. He left the Labour Party. His vice president, running mate, Dati, who is, whatever you want to say, Dati has shown that he can manage the situation. He's not a trader. He's not a short-term, turnaround businessman. He's built one of the most reputable universities in Nigeria today, the Beige University. He said, he told Obi, sir, let us fix this Labour Party issue. The man said, no, I'm not here to fix party. I want to fix Nigeria. But Obi should know that the Nigerian Constitution does not allow individual. It's a party. It's a collective.
And so he left Labour Party to go and look for where food is ready. He went to ADC. They terminated the leadership of ADC, which they met there, and forcefully took over the leadership because they are big men and women. And when they said that there will be primary, because he doesn't want to go through the first stage of election, he left there to go and join NDC. You have already seen the tension between Obi and the proprietor of NDC, my very dear friend, former governor and now Senator Siraki Dixon. And look at the interview he granted, how they were having people coming to join the party before Obi come, but now they are behaving as if it's Obi that's bringing those people, and that Obi should talk to his followers. Can't you already see early warning signals? So if you cannot manage a room, allocate a student room to you, and you can't keep it clean, you come in, you find that the bed sheet and the toilet is leaking and so on, you can't fix it. Then you tell me you are going to be running a real estate with several buildings called Nigeria. How can you? So you can't manage a political platform?
Bola Tinubu can win in 2027?
He will win.
How?
Because Nigerians are sensible. Forget about some of the elite who are compromised. Some elite are compromised for one way or the other. But Nigerians know that these elites always say so. That's why I ask you, ask this, any of them, will they return subsidy? Will they return dual exchange rate?
If Tinubu loses in 2027,
will they terminate the massive infrastructure that is going on?
If Tinubu loses in 2027, would you be surprised?
He will not lose.
You are optimistic. The people will decide.
I am a critical optimist. Nigerians know the difference between liars who are perfect the art of manipulating TV tubes and podcasts to tell Nigerians are suffering. They are not saying what Tinubu did wrongly. That's why I'm asking you some of these key policy changes. Reviewing the tax base so that those who make money from Nigeria economy should also pay taxes so that we can provide for the others. Do they want to review the tax policy?
Oh yes, you heard Adams Oshomole. If you notice in this interview, when he was asked about Atiku, he just said little thing about Atiku. But when it got to Peter Obi, they now pour fuel, pour kerosene inside fire. He started Peter Obi, how about Peter Obi? If calling Peter Obi, it will kill him. Because this man would abide by all this them calling. Anyway, I want you guys to listen to Peter Obi himself when Rufai Hussein was asking him about so many things, his response and everything. Please, if you have not subscribed to this video by now, please, I'm begging you to subscribe, like, and share my video. Thank you so much as you listen to Peter Obi's interview.
I'd like to ask you, infighting in your political party, some people feel disgruntled. One of your lieutenant, Aisha Yusuf, feel disgruntled. Siraki Dixon has come out to say that nobody's doing anybody a favor. What's happening in your political party? In fact, there were allegations that came out recently that Kenneth Okonkwo made you take him to court for 5 billion as regards monies exchanging hands in your political party. People are saying the NDC is not different from the APC you are castigating, and you are saying you are the ones that will change the order of things for democracy.
Let me assure you that whatever you think is in fighting our party is nothing compared of what you see in other parties, and there's no issue. It's an issue when you have an organization. There's at times some disagreements for minor issues which we've been talked over, it's been resolved, and everything, and that's it. The issue of taking Kenneth Okonkwo to court wouldn't have been there if only Kenneth stopped at even allegation. But he said he has a lot that he will talk in the future.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that when I said I'm taking it to court, he said now that he's been taken to court, that he will now be able to disclose or bring in the open all those things he wanted to keep in. I think Rufai, as a leader, this is time to scrutinize, avail ourselves for scrutiny by the public, so people can hear all the bad things about us, because it is important that our future leaders must be who they say they are, in terms of character, in terms of integrity, in terms of competence, in terms of qualification, in terms of everything. So once he said that, I said, wait a minute, we must go further. So they can help. Because some of the things we're seeing today that the young ones are doing are examples they've learned from our leaders. So this is time to ensure that those who are coming to lead us now must be people of character. Everything. No, don't,
because you threatened that
no,
not a good thing.
Not just Kenneth.
So you want Kenneth to go and expose you. That's why you're
everything. No, don't,
because you threatened that
no,
not a good thing.
Not just Kenneth.
Yeah.
Everybody should not say those things they know that is bad about me or I did that is wrong, because it's good for the system. It's good for the society. So if you know that when we were in primary school, this man was cheating or didn't go to the primary school, didn't go to secondary school, didn't do, if you know this man had done something criminal somewhere, this is time to bring it out. We must not allow the next set of our leaders to have a record that is doubtful.
Okay. Is it that you couldn't work with Atiku?
No, who said I couldn't work with Atiku?
I mean, but you left the ADC.
Can't you see what's happening in ADC?
Is it? Some people are asking, is it a must that you must be on the presidential?
No. Can't you see what's happening in ADC?
Yes, I've seen what is happening in ADC.
And you think and anybody should stay there?
But people are also saying NDC too has been taken to court as regards your party registration. When you talk about court cases,
no, we don't have that. We don't have 3 presidential candidates now. We don't have that situation. The situation, every situation has its own thing. When the court decides that we're not there, that's it. And you ask, is there a must that must be
on the presidential
ballot? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm offering myself.
The question people are asking, Kwankwaso was on the presidential ballot in the last election, but today he's your running mate, he's your vice.
There's nothing wrong in that. Let me tell you. You can't even ask me that. Let me tell you, in the last election, if you add Abuja because they've added Abuja, if you add Abuja because they've added Abuja as a state now, Kwankwaso won one of the states. President Tinubu, Vice President Atiku and myself had 3 states, 12 states each. Even that happened because they took 2 of mine. They took Rivers and Benue. Otherwise, I would have had 14. That's why I said if they did the right thing, I won. But however,
are you going to tell us the story of how they took Rivers and Benue from you?
You know, everybody knows. Even children on the street know that. Everybody knows that. Even in the INEC portal for a long time, it was there. The result was very clear. But that's not what I'm challenging today. But to tell you that you cannot tell somebody who won 12 states, is he a must? He must be on ballot. When other people want 12 states, you can no longer take me as a marginal contender.